Welcome everybody to the Goodness Show. I'm GoodnessAviation, and I will be hosting the show today. What an interesting week it was. First off, the snow of the winter season happened across America, specifically in Buffalo, New York, which was hit with a historical snowstorm reaching up to 6 feet of snow. The National Guard ended up being deployed to help out since cars were being stuck and people were trapped in their homes and more. We hope everyone out there is staying safe out there. Tomorrow is the start of Thanksgiving week, and for the Americans, and we got some pretty interesting news from Macy's about their annual Thanksgiving Day parade. Baby sharks will be added as a float this year, which is fine, I guess, but why? This is the first normal parade since pre-COVID, and this is the float they're adding? Like, what? Anyway, Taylor Swift has broken the internet, and I mean literally. She released tickets for her tour, and estimated 2 million people that bought the tickets on Tuesday. Most people weren't even able to purchase tickets because Ticketmaster ended up crashing. At this point, people are actually buying tickets off of other people for thousands of dollars. Taylor Swift did acknowledge the disaster and apologized to everyone and wished they could have done better to prevent this. Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi both broke the internet this afternoon with a photo on the screen about both soccer, or for us Americans, which people call it football, but us Americans, we call it soccer. Stars collabed with Louis Vuitton to create the amazing image. It shocked soccer fans, and it shows them both playing chess on a Louis Vuitton suitcase. And what a photo this is. Both players are playing in the World Cup this year and will actually take place in a few days. When we come back, we have PatrickPPZ and Ryi on. Stay tuned. Back for the first guest this week, and we have the owner of Patrick Zone, joined by Ryi, owner of Ryi J's. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you, Patrick and Ryi. Where y'all at? Hey, yeah. There y'all are. Give a round of applause, guys. Once again. All right. Hey, guys, how y'all doing today?
Good.
Pretty good.
Good. Anyway, welcome back, Ryi. We've recently had you and Big C on the show at the end of season 2, and we're really glad to see you back on the show.
Yep, it's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah. So, Patrick, this is the first time pretty much we're ever talking.
Yep.
How is Patrick's going?
It's been doing pretty
Was that?
What?
What did you say again?
It's been doing pretty good.
Okay. I have a question. Talking about Patrick's, what inspired you to make it? Like, what's the backstory behind it?
See, at first, basically our first location was basically PPTT. No, that's the name of the original location, but it was basically based on Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater. It wasn't that original of an idea, but I basically started with that. It was basically just a concept, but like, that location probably only lasted around a month. It was exactly like 2 years ago, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And what do you think the future is looking like for Patrick's?
We're gonna still be like operating and making locations, so that's good.
Is there any like big goals you want to add, like for the attraction and something like that?
Yeah, I'm making this like pretty big thing that hasn't been done in ESM before. Mostly the attraction type. It's not a theme park or anything, but it's something. It's like, I'm just gonna say it here. It's a water park.
All right. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Patrick. Rye.
Yo,
Things have been new since the last time you were here. What? How's Rye J's going?
pretty good actually. We've started a brand new location recently, Caseyville, Roblox, yeah. And that's expected to open the next year, January 2023.
Of course, I've mentioned this before, but of course, in this community, you've blown a lot of people away. How will you blow away people away in this location you're making?
Well, we have the first off, we have the Sing Song Show Hall, which is going to be our grand showroom. It's going to feature a fully programmed auto show similar to that of Adrian's, immersive lighting and sounds, and all kinds of fun new tricks.
Yeah. All right. Um. Uh. Is there like any new stuff you're gonna do with the bots and stuff? Like, is there anything like you plan on doing with the stage, the show, and all that?
Quite a lot actually. We've recently got new mechs inside the bots, and which I many people don't really do because it's not really a thing. But I decided to take it like a step further by adding mechs inside the characters.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you're doing really good at it. Yeah. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you're getting. I'm glad you're improving. You know, we all have to improve somewhere, but like, just you just keep doing it, and yeah, that's just why people look up to you and all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep at it. I mean, you're doing great. Yeah. Now, of course, you are in the parade business. How's that? How's the Ride J's colorful electrical parade going?
Yes, we recently did a performance of that tonight, and so far it's been going well. Been doing lots of updates to that. Currently, we're in our Christmas season, but after the season ends on January 1st, we'll be taking the parade out for a complete overhaul of the scripting and updating it to 2022 standards. I mean, 2023, sorry. Completely updating it to 2023 standards, all new parking systems, and more hiring for performers, more roles, and just many more exciting additions.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. And I know I've actually wanted to ask you this for a long time, but I know in this you coming back to this community, this parade, it looks more modern than it was. Are you gonna do like anything old school, like you know how the actual parade did in the '70s or the '80s, '90s? Are you gonna go back to those old parade soundtracks, like what Disney used?
Wow, that's funny you mentioned that. We actually have that whole soundtrack uploaded, and we can most likely when this big rebrand like redesign comes and all that, we'll be able to do alternate performances. So one day we'll be able to have the new soundtrack, one day we'll have the old one, and for those who prefer the old one, we'll be having another version up and running soon, run by our very own Big C. He's going to be running his own version of the Electrical Parade, and there's going to be more like that. And
Okay.
also the traveling show. Yes, Big C, I hear you.
Yeah. And yeah, my favorite part of the entire parade from you is that old throwback where they have those spinny cubes, those floats, you know,
Yes.
the finale.
Yes,
Oh,
the neon finale.
Are you gonna add those back? Like, are you gonna add those back? I mean, they're amazing.
Yes, eventually we'll be adding the neon finale back to possibly both both version A and B, like I mentioned. Probably going to be adding both of those, adding the Neon Finale back to both of those, featuring all new faces and more like that.
All right. Yeah. 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 I mean, I think if you'll add it back, man, it'll blow me away.
Sure thing.
Yeah. Keep doing it. Yeah. Back to you, Patrick. Are you? Is there going to be a lot of thrill attractions added into FEC's? Uh, uh, like, what's the backstory behind the coaster? What do you like about it in the FECs?
I mean, like before, I've been into like coasters and like theme parks in general for like a while now, and around like the after PPTT Patrick's Pizza Zone, the location that was like the location locate like basically it was just the second location, and we had like first it was like a sizzler type attraction. It was based off like a real attraction that was also located in FEC. It was like basically the same type of thing, and later, like a week into the opening, we added a huge SNS space shot. It was basically like a launched drop tower. You have like probably seen them in like loads of theme parks.
Ugh. Yeah, that's yeah, that I love those, but they scare me too much. So, yeah, but I'll definitely try it out. Yeah, okay. Is the Patrick show? I'm sorry, not Patrick show. Is Patrick's gonna get an auto show anytime soon?
I don't know about that. It depends on if I'm gonna like make a new show or not.
Okay. Yeah.
Patrick, Mila time.
Oh yeah, about we have auto show. It's not in the main show, but it's a basically like a DC portrait bot stage. It's basically a whole joke. It's basically an auto show. All like the show tapes are like horrible. They're like supposed to be horrible, but also like funny at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. We always want funny in our FECs just to make people laugh. You know. But yeah, I think you'll be good at that because, uh, that's what this community is about, just making people laugh. New things we could look for. Um, okay. You think there'll be like a next major remodel for Patrick's one day? Like, what do you think it'll be?
Like a major addition to the arcade, like as
Yeah,
an
something.
attraction.
What do you plan on, sort of?
I don't have anything right now because right now the park count is pretty high, but I'm gonna try to finalize on something. Maybe do some sort of go kart thing like Oscartainment, or do something like I'm already doing, but in a smaller way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Um, I do have a question for you, Patrick. Like, it's opinions, but I know what year did you go in? What year did you start going into ESM?
2020.
Okay. So yeah, you're kind of new, 2 years pretty much, right? How did you get into it? Like, how were you? How did you like?
Like
How
get
did
to
you
the
get into it?
community, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I started like the FEC thing. It's not from. I didn't start in 2020. It was actually like 2017. I like saw like I learned about the Rockafire explosion for the first and Chuck E. Cheese's. Basically, I made this like small portrait thing in 2017. It was like it wasn't nowhere complete, but it was like it was the original Patrick's Pizza Time Theater. Like and like the past location, I put like signs up. Basically, it was just an old sign. I don't know how to describe it. No. Basically, we're just showing our past logos, and you could see the old logo, and it was like completely handmade in Union.
Oh yeah,
And
because
yeah,
we were new. You were new.
yeah, it was in 2017. 2018, I kept like leaving and entering. So 2017, I built one thing, left. 2018, I came back, and you know Daniel and the Dixie Diggers, right? Or it was like some sort of animatronic
Yes,
band made by
yes,
Sally. A lot of people know about
yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
it. Back then, I decided to make bots, and at the time they were like good for the time, like 2018. And I decided to make a whole FEC based on that. It was just a bunch of free models though, and that like actually like sort of like helped me understand how to make FECs.
Hmm.
The two locations in 2018, and at the time they weren't moving. No, it wasn't moving. It was just I just pressed an audio on a board and just played. And actually, I think like one of them had like a light script where it was basically a point light that changed color. Um,
Okay.
2018, and then 2019, I made another location. It was like Last Daniel's Pizza location, and I mean, it wasn't that. None of the locations were that good. It was like piggybacking off of like another creation, but at the
Oh
time
yeah,
it was a pretty good recreation for the
yeah, we all
bots.
start somewhere. We all start somewhere. So, I was there too. But
Yeah, 2019 I left like fully, but then 2019 yeah I left fully.
yeah,
If
I didn't see you in a lot in 2019, but
yeah, it was like
I started.
summer.
Yeah,
After like 2020, like the beginning, I was more into aviation stuff. Like I was also in and out of that a bunch of times before, but then like I just like
you were into
died
what?
down
Wait,
during the
sorry.
summer.
Are you were into the what stuff?
Like aviation stuff.
Aviation.
I mean, yeah, you could like see like some of that stuff, some of the aviation stuff being like
Yeah,
used
that's how
currently, like Patrick's
how I
party
got my
plane.
name. That's how I got my name.
Mhm.
Because I yeah, sorry, but I did leave the fandom in 2020 because it was just too it was tough
See,
amount of
and
drama. So
then
I got into aviation like other people would. But yeah, keep going.
I saw, and around the summertime, I wasn't that much into aviation. I wanted to go back to like water parks and stuff. But then in my friends playing, I saw someone playing. It was like I think it was Big C playing like Oscar's Comical Pizzeria, and I decided to join. And I was just like, I mean, I knew about it before like one or two times, and I kind of made that they were working arcade machines, bots, a lot of stuff, and like also like the chalks open too. I remember seeing the announcement video before, um, the Big C, the Big C thing joining him.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
basically his announcement video of talks coming back.
So you saw it, and then it inspired you wanting to come back. Uh,
Yeah, after
yeah, right.
Oscar Tainment, and a bunch of the inspiration also came from the Rye lounges. Those were like my most favorite thing about it was specifically because of like the building stuff and how cool it was. So like the looks of it, I liked it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's a great back history. I wanted to know where you came from and stuff. 'Cause I know we've never talked, but I make the show because I like to get to know people in this community, and yeah, thanks for sharing that. Really wanted to know. Yeah. Anyway, back to you, Rye. When will Rye J's open again?
January 2023, hopefully.
Okay. All right. And okay. Um, you pretty. And I have a question. What inspired the ESM Studios themed showroom? If any of you want to answer that.
Uh, I don't know. It just came up to my mind because you know how ESM's basically owns a bunch of like owns a bunch. It's basically an FEC group where it has like the bunch of FECs, and
Yeah.
most of the time you would like basically I seen like lots of like show. Basically, the whole concept of show is that you're like it's show business and stuff. Like the previous PBZ was basically a theater type thing. It wasn't that theater heavy, but it was like brown. It kind of
Yeah,
gave
I
off
was
the
there.
feeling.
I was there. I remember coming.
The grand showroom.
It,
I'm pretty sure it
it
was.
looked like a movie theater, sort of.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Basically, I want it's just like we were gonna have like a bunch of themed lands for like the location that came before. Like it was basically just basically just a movie set because it's just you could theme it to ESM as a whole, like a show, having a showroom be like a soundstage or something. I just thought of it because it's like it all makes sense. And
Thanks for sharing that. Okay.
I
Anyway, I got a
also,
last. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm also talking about the location. It was supposed like after like the previous location was basically just a former Rise that was like remade, and we basically just made it into a Patrick's Pizza Zone. That was shortly that shortly just closed because of the account being banned. My main in general, there was supposed to be another store after that store, and that store right now it was basically an older version, a more like smaller version of the current store today. It was like less theme and not as good, but now that store is being used for the next talks. So
All right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I have a question. Nick, he he asked. I'm sorry. He announced the ESM awards. Are you guys planning on being part of the awards?
yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. When is it again?
I think January. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
like it was last.
Okay. All right. Thanks for Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Support everybody in the ESM FEC community. Yeah. And one last question. I asked this to everybody. Patrick, how do you feel about being on the show today?
It's great and amazing how I could be on the stage at right now talking to people like basically just like normally they don't like just like hear my voice because most of the time I just talk privately with like only my friends. So it's like great that I can like talk to like other people.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. What about you, Rye?
It's been great to be back on the show, especially with the modern. Because the last time I was here, it was still the season 2 setup, but now I'm seeing
it was at the old building.
yeah, and seeing the season 3 setup, it's just completely taken me aback. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for them, Rye and Patrick. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, well, Ryan, Patrick, we were so honored to have you two on the show today, and just keep doing what you're doing, and I can't wait to see more of it. And you have everybody's support, and just shoot for the moon. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Goodness Show today. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we will see y'all next weekend. Actually, no, not next weekend. It's Thanksgiving. Thank you. So everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Enjoy some time with the family. We love you all, and goodbye, guys.
Thank you to also thank you to also
Indeed.
it's been a nice time talking to you too about PVZ. So hope we can like continue on with this PVZ stuff for a while, and I'll see you guys later.
See ya, folks.